Adults can be scared of going to the hospital. For kids, it's even worse. But one man is trying to make things a little easier on the little ones with a new cartoon series. Dr. Mona Khanna joined us earlier to talk about it.
Okay, so we know that the less stressed you are when you go into a medical procedure, or even when you're seeing the doctor, the better medical outcome you're going to have. That's why we tell adults, you know, do meditation after surgery, do yoga before surgery, so there's less trauma to the body and less stress. It makes them more calm. Well, Charles Danziger has created a series of health videos for children that in fact reassures them, and he actually has a very personal reason as to why he developed them in the first place. Take a look.
Ooh, it's like slipping into a strange spaceship.
Well, you know, my nephew was having an MRI, and there was nothing out there in the health world for kids. And I thought, I'm not a doctor, but I am a filmmaker. Let's make something that makes him feel better.
If you've got a particular message that parents or doctors need to convey to children, what's the best way, what's the best media to use, for example, to convey that message?
Right. Well, one of the things that we have found is that animation is key.
Really?
So as you'll see in these videos, Charles uses animated characters to convey the message because they're what he calls an emotional surrogate. So they kind of connect to the child that way, in that the child can relate to the figure. Some of the other qualities are the video should be very short, to the point, easily accessible, obviously. These are available on the internet.
Story.
Yeah, exactly, exactly like our
Except we don't use the animation.
Right, right. The characters should be funny. There should be a sense of humor involved, so kids get the idea that it's kind of light, and they should skew young. So even though Charles says that older children, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, you know, you need to talk to them, you still need to skew young, so the videos that the younger children watch, the older children can relate to as well.
We thought education in the health world is important, but frankly, for kids, entertainment is more important. And with the MRI video as an example, we thought, after a lot of research, it's the noise of the MRIs that kids are afraid of. So we had a very amusing drummer caterpillar who took the MRI, who went through the whole experience and thought, I'm inspired to create a new song. And that made kids feel better.
A lot of youngsters, no doubt, have fears that come to mind when they're going to see a doctor or a visit to the nurse, for example.
Right.
What's the best way for these videos, or how do these videos deal with those types of fears?
Well, one of the problems we actually see, especially when children are hospitalized, Larry, is that parents often try to put a positive spin on everything. Oh, you're going to feel better when this is over. You know, it won't hurt as much as you think it will. And we actually in the medical profession try to paint more of a realistic picture as to what's going to happen. And that's one of the tenets of these videos is, you know, tell the truth.
Don't sugarcoat.
Exactly. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell the truth, but do it in a way that is very illustrative of what is going to happen, and always present it in a way that tells you what the positive outcome is at the end of the procedure or the test or whatever it is.
So it sounds like they don't sugarcoat the message.
Exactly.
And they want to do it in a very understandable way.
Right, understandable. The child can relate to it. The child can then in turn be more soothed and more calm. And there's one additional benefit that Charles told us about in this era of healthcare reform. Here's what he had to say about that.
Healthcare community has been over the moon, I'm happy to say, and partly because in the real world, cost is a huge issue. Now with our videos, we found that kids, when they see them, are much calmer, and so require less time from the doctors. So whether you're talking about flu shots or MRIs or x-rays, a calmer kid requires less time on the part of the healthcare professional.
So if somebody's interested in obtaining some of these videos, where would they find them?
They can go to Crunchyworld, which is a channel on YouTube, or they can go to Crunchyworld.com, and they can find the health videos there. And the 3 health videos that are up right now are if your child is having an MRI, if your child is having a plain film x-ray, or if your child needs a shot. And the example here is a flu shot, but you can use it for any shot. So if any of these relate to our friends at home, then they can go on and they can try to use them right away to educate their children.
And I'll bet even the adults will learn something.
Exactly. Yeah. Very soothing for the adults as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doc.
You're welcome.